Good morning, guys and gals. It's Westy Runner here, back from my 30-minute tempo test this morning on the waterfront, which was okay. It's shaping up to be a lovely weekend. I've got a long trail run planned for tomorrow, which I'm really looking forward to. Speaking of which, in the intro you saw some footage that I shot at the Tarawera Ultramarathon while I was filming my friend Jean. It was fantastic, but now that Tarawera is over, we move from the trail part of my year to the road part of my year. And on that... So we're going to talk about this week, which has had its challenges, it's probably fair to say. But also we're going to talk about this week's key session, which is plyometrics. Now, if you're in your mid-40s like me, your VO2 max is not going to get an awful lot better. So you need to focus instead on running economy, and plyometrics will help you do that, and we'll talk about that very shortly. But first, let's rip over to Strava and see how the week went down. Last week was not the best week. We only hit 75 kilometers, which is not particularly fantastic. I should be much more like 100 to 120 kilometers for the week. There were some good points to it. The start of the week started off reasonably well with an absorption run. The lactate threshold intervals did not go well, and I'll talk a little bit further about that in a second. On the other hand, Wednesday, Thursday, things came back a little bit better. I managed to complete an hour and a half aerobic with 10 strides, no worries. Strides weren't the best, but that's okay. I completed the session, and it's a hard session. My 800 meter VO2 max repeats went pretty well. Some funny results on the GPS running along Long Mile Road in Rotorua, but sometimes that happens, but they were okay. Probably the highlight of the week, on the other hand, was my run on the Saturday. I met with my friend Troy, who was running the 102k, who managed about 11 hours for the race, which is a fantastic result. And I ran back to the finish with him and then jogged back to the hotel. And that was a really enjoyable afternoon out. The week did not finish well, unfortunately, because I did not get out to do my long run, because I spent an awful long time on all of Saturday and then through into Sunday actually filming my friend Jean as he ran the 100-mile race. It's probably good that we go back and talk a little bit about the lactate threshold intervals. Sometimes when you look at people's Strava efforts and things like that, they only ever show you the good stuff. Now, my commitment to you is I will show you whatever it may be, good or bad. This is a bit of an instantaneous reaction, so if I come across a little bit ranty, I'm very sorry. I've just come back from an absolutely shit run. I was supposed to do 4 by 2 kilometers at threshold, and I could tell right from the start that it was just not great. I've had a long day at work, I've not slept too well, my back has gone, which isn't great. And I just thought, no, give it 15 minutes, do your warm-up, try the first rep and see how you go. Sometimes it just lifts if you do that, and it's always worth giving it just 15 minutes. And it wasn't any better after the 15 minutes, and then I got about maybe 3/4 of a kilometer into the first rep, and I actually felt on my legs, my hips had a bit of bounce and a bit of pop to them, but I just had no cardiovascular engine and really fatigued, and I dropped and I jogged the rest of the way. So, okay, I've done what, 6.5 kilometers, 4 miles. But it's just a bit disappointing because training's been going so well, and that's the first bad session I've had. And when you have to drop in a session like that, instantly there's feelings of guilt and being pissed off and lots of quite black thoughts about it. And so I thought it was important to talk about it just with you guys for a bit. So I'm a bit hacked off about that, and it should be a great week anyway. It's Tarawera race week. My training's been going really well. I can tell I'm getting fitter and faster. Just a combination of things has just really buggered up my run today. I'm just a bit pissed about it. So it was a bit of a mixed bag that week, let's be fair, but there's nothing you can really do about it at the time. All you need to do is move on and make your next session as best you possibly can. And so with that effort in mind, let's go and talk about plyometrics. We've come outside so I can demonstrate a couple of the plyometric exercises I'm talking about. We'll do box jumps and then we'll do hop and stick. So box jump, hop bench. Pretty straightforward, of course, just. You'll notice I jump up and I jump down. The reason for that is that there's kind of the concentric explosive jump up And then there's the eccentric when you stop on the way back down, so it doubles the value of the exercise, if you like. Our second exercise is called hop and stick. It's where you do a hop and you try and really stick the landing, and then you do that several times and repeat. So do that probably 5 or 6 times in succession on one leg, then swap and do it the other leg. Hopefully with better balance than me. The science behind plyometrics is they help your running economy. That's the amount of energy you take to run a given distance at a given pace. They do this by making your tendons and muscle units stiffer. The reason that helps is lots of people think that when your muscle contracts, it shortens and it bends the joint and that propels you forward. That's kind of not really the case. It's much more that the tendon acts like a strut, and the energy of impact from running sort of is stored in the muscle tendon units, and then it's released with a little bit of extra kick from that contraction effect. And so plyometrics make the strut that your muscle, tendon and bones form, they make it stiffer and they make it much more efficient. So when you're actually running at, hopefully in my case, slightly quicker than 6:52 minutes per mile or 4:17 per K, they enable me to do that using less energy. So I can do it with less effort and I feel more comfortable at marathon pace. Thank you very much, guys. Hope you've had a great week of training and look forward to speaking to you again in a few days' time. Bye.